Facebook. How's everyone doing? Before I get started, I am going to get audio check really fast, but hopefully you guys are having a great day. Today I'm a little tired, so bear with me today. Um, so anyways, I am super excited to be in the month of June. Um, Thank you. I got a thumbs up on Facebook. And then I'm waiting on IG and I can kind of start talking, okay? But this month we're talking about scaling your business. When is it necessary to scale your business? And today's topic is about hiring help. And I know we struggle with hiring help because we want to be in control of our business, but it's very important that you seek out help if you need it, okay? You're not a superhero. So please try to outsource as much as possible. But before I really get in depth with everything, I am going to introduce myself for the ones that don't know who I am. So hello, my name is Latasha Shelton. I am the founder and CEO of Boss Life Global, where I help aspiring entrepreneurs transition from the 9-to-5 grind and get into entrepreneurship. There's three things that we like to focus on. We focus on personal development, business development, and building a personal brand. So if you're someone that don't know where to start, you have a business idea, but you don't know where to start, I'm the coach for you. If you're someone that have an idea, but don't know how to really execute the idea, or you may not be confident to actually take that leap of faith, I am that coach for you. Or you're someone that say, hey, I got a business, I've been operating, but I'm struggling with scaling. I'm struggling with getting to the next level. I'm definitely the coach for you, okay? So make sure you tune in every Wednesdays at 11 a.m. because I do these weekly lives. Each month, it is a different topic. So this month, we're talking about scaling. Next month, we will be talking about, I don't know, next month. I am waiting on, Aaron, if you're on this live, can you please give me a thumbs up on IG, please? Thank you. That'll be awesome. I didn't see a thumbs up on IG. I see on Facebook. So if you're on here, let me know. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now I can really get started now that I know audio is working on IG. Okay. So, so if you haven't already got the Boss Blueprint, it is on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. The hard copy is on Barnes and Noble, just to let you know. I love the hard copy because, again, the hard copy allows it to be more protective. It is durable and it lasts longer. And we love a good textbook, okay? If you want to order one on Amazon, Amazon is a paperback. The good thing about Amazon is that Amazon only takes 2 days to ship, okay? So you pick your poison wherever you want to go. Just try to support your girl, the mission and the cause, okay? So, class is in session. Make sure you grab your notebook, your notepad, whatever you need to do to get comfortable, because we're going to talk about hiring help and when and how to outsource tasks, okay? So today we're talking about a major key to scaling your business, hiring help, and outsourcing the right way, okay? So we don't realize that in order for you to become successful, it's literally a mindset shift. So why can't you do it all? Okay. Why can't you do it all? Because we can't do it all, right? I learned quickly in business that I can't try to wear many hats. And I think I talk about this on many lives where I say outsource, hire a team, systems in place. I know you guys are tired of hearing me talk about it, but I'm gonna tell you that it is a big asset to your business, a huge asset to your business. So it's important that we constantly have these conversations so you understand that in order for you to really scale and be successful, you need to put people in place, okay? So I, like to be superwoman. I don't like to let go of control. I've always been that type of person that don't like to count on other people. I'm like that in my personal life. And I'm like that in my business life too, because we're afraid, like everybody don't show up like we show up. Some people don't have good work ethic. Some people isn't as passionate about your business as you are. So, you're afraid that if you give that person or those people that much control over you or your business, that, you may fail. But to break it down to you, we have to start trusting, and we have to use discernment when we're hiring our team. Yes, I understand that there's a lot of people that do come in and they drop the ball. Um, I've had people around me that tried to learn my blueprint, and I quickly found out that you can't bring everybody to your table. I had family members, I've had friends, I've had people that I considered to be business partners come in, and their mission was to, get personal gain. They wanted to steal my ideas. They only was doing it because it benefited them. They weren't doing it to benefit my company and my business or whatever business endeavors I was adventuring at that time. I quickly start to get discouraged. I cut everyone off and I said, you know what? I'm not going to invite people into my business anymore. I don't need help. I don't want help. I'll figure it out on my own. And to be honest with you, if you want to grow slow, go by yourself. Okay. If you want to grow slow, do it by yourself. But if you want to get to the top fast, sometimes you got to have a team. And that's just kind of what it is. But you have to use discernment. You got to know who you are bringing to the table. Okay. And yeah, I knew I couldn't bring family members to the table. Family feel like they owe you something. It just was a lot of confusion. So that's the reason why I was like, you know what? I am just going to be Miss Independent Tasha and do it alone. And I quickly found out that, yeah, it ain't been working out because I am a single mother of 2 daughters. And sometimes it can be very frustrating, super frustrating to run a business and try to, date. That's a huge thing. Try to date, be a single mother, run a household by yourself, and still try to run a successful business. So I needed to start finding that balance. So yes, I started to outsource. Now, outsourcing don't necessarily mean real people. Okay. Outsourcing can be automation, AI. Outsourcing can be just little things like ordering your groceries. Okay. So we're going to get into a lot of these things. Okay. It says busy doesn't equal productive, right? Just because we're busy don't mean we're productive. Now, one thing that I struggle with in my business is that I was trying to do everything at one time. Okay. Now my business is a business that's always elevating. My business is always growing. So I want to work on 5 things in my business at one time. And I realized that I'm not really getting nothing done because there's still gaps, right? When I can't finish content creation, I move on to the more marketing side of my business. And then I move from the marketing side of my business to setting up my systems properly because I might have ran into a situation to where something went wrong. Okay. So I'm constantly moving around in my business and realizing that I'm not really getting nowhere because content isn't done. I'm creating the content, but I'm not editing the content and I'm not posting the content. Okay. So just because you're busy don't mean that you're really productive. Okay. Because you're a one-man show. You can't do it all by yourself. Okay. So your time is your most valuable asset. Learn to protect it. Your time is your money. So wherever you spend your time is where just kind of what they say, where energy grow, where money flows, energy grows, or where energy flows, money grows, whatever that's. Oh, I see a lot of people on my Instagram today. Hey, y'all. Monty T, how are you? Tima, I am. Hey, welcome to the live. Okay. Um, so we're going to talk about signs it's time to hire help. Okay. Signs that it's time to hire help. You're consistently overwhelmed and behind. Those are one of the signs that it's time for you to hire help. And I know you guys are on this live, and I know you guys are struggling with the same thing I'm struggling with. Just because I'm teaching these things don't mean that I don't personally struggle with this. Okay. You're spending more time in your business than on it. I'm going to say that again. You're spending more time in your business than on it. Okay. Important opportunities are passing you by because you're too busy. Important opportunities are passing you by because you are too busy. Oh my gosh. I struggled with this last year. So I had so many opportunities to do vending events, speak at events, all kinds of events. But because I felt like um, I was so caught up in trying to build my business, and I was so much in my business that I had to politely, turn these things away because I didn't have the right advertising. I didn't have flyers. I didn't have tables. I didn't have anything really to do with vending. I didn't have nothing, right? Because I was so caught up in working through the more technical part of my business that I missed these important opportunities. I feel like it's okay to literally just start with where you at and just put yourself out there, is because I felt like I wasn't completely ready, that I missed out on opportunities, and I actually passed these opportunities to other people. And because I passed these opportunities to other people, these people have made so many connections with meeting people at this event to where it has allowed them to grow, right? They've networked, they've met the right people at these conferences, and now they have been able to move their business to the next level. If I would have just started with what I had at the time, right, and not try to overwhelm myself and work out so much technicalities in my business, I feel like I will be much further, right? Way more further. But it's okay because everyone not meant to move fast, right? Some people move quicker than others. Another thing is your customer experience or personal life is starting to suffer. So if your personal life is starting to suffer because of your business, you might need to you need to stop for a second and figure out why. And you need to evaluate what's consuming so much of your time. Okay. You know exactly what needs to be done, but you don't have the bandwidth to do it. So another thing, burnout is real in entrepreneurship. I don't know how many times we've been into our business and we felt like we burnt out. I've been burnt out so many times. I know you guys been burnt out, and I know I'm not the only one. I've been burnt out so many times when it came to my business. Okay. Hey, Sierra J, welcome to the live. Let's see if Instagram pick up my hearts. Oh, but anyways, I've been burnt out so many times when it came to me working on my business. Like I think 2023, I went to mortar school, and I started working on Boss Life Global. That's kind of where Boss Life Global developed that. It was when I was in Mortar of Cincinnati. And I was working on it so much to the point where I didn't even want to see my business anymore, right? Because I was trying to grow so fast. I felt like my business, if I pour so much time into my business every single day, content creation, marketing, whatever that may be, that I will be to the next level. See, my thing is this, I'm trying to grow because I got this end goal in mind. So I'm like, oh, I need to do it now. And I had so many gaps within my business. And so I had to stop. But at that point, I was already burnt out. And I literally took a whole year off from even working on Boss Life Global. And then the beautiful part about this story is that in the midst of me taking a break from the business, I actually developed a book called The Boss Blueprint. The Boss Blueprint literally came from me being burnt out because I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a plan in mind. All I knew is I wanted to make money. Hey girl, hey, how are you? I knew that I just wanted to make money, and that was it. You know, when we start businesses, we want to go straight to the money. We don't think about the longevity of our business because, we want these nice homes, we want these fancy cars, um, and that's a dream, but we have to understand that you got to crawl before you walk. And so when I realized that business wasn't just about um, this business wasn't just about like you start a business, get an LLC, you know what I'm saying, register your business, you build business credit, okay? Business really taught me that it was a spiritual journey, an emotional journey, a mindset shift. Business came with a lot of healing. Like y'all don't understand when you get into business, oh my God, like I know y'all can relate to me. Business become a whole healing journey. And so when I figured out that things were coming up that I never thought that it will come up within my business. Like for an example, I had an issue with being seen. I had imposter syndrome, right? Um, when I realized that it was like, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling like I deserved to be in spaces. I felt like, I wasn't knowledgeable of being in these spaces. And I felt like my idea that I had was pretty goofy. I'm like, I don't know if people are going to be rocking with this. I don't feel like I'm comfortable in being in this space because, we watch these podcasts and we watch, other people on YouTube and they speak eloquently. Like their language is clear. And here I am, the girl from the hood. I live both lifestyles. I'm from downtown Cincinnati, but I was able to be in the suburbs too because of my dad, right? But nevertheless, I felt like this girl coming on here talking with slang and butchering words and not properly saying things or putting sentence correct, that people weren't going to rock with me. Okay. So I had to understand, I had to like really heal that version of me that didn't feel worthy of being seen. Okay. So that's kind of really why I'm so grateful for the burnout, because the burnout will teach you how to really pivot in your business and your personal life and all the things like that. I'm doing amazing. Yeah, I'm doing great. Just enjoying doing what I love, right? And that's coming on here and teaching you guys. You choose what's going on. 614. What's going on? What's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. You went on my live last week, or the last two lives, I don't think. But welcome back. I love that y'all come back every single Wednesdays and tap in with me. Anyways, so that is really how the Boss Blueprint was developed, because I'm like, all right, this is a whole spiritual journey, and I had to ask myself, like, who am I? Like I had to ask myself in my book, like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I trying to impress? Who am I trying to impact? Who am I trying to build community with? Like all these things was very important for me. And so I'm like, okay, I need to make a book for people that struggle with these things just like me. So moving along, after I realized who I was, I had to be okay with being seen. I had to be okay with just walking in my purpose and in my passion. My passion is to help other people. I love to serve. My passion is to teach, right? I knew that I had a calling, but again, you got to go through turmoil. You got to go through life in order for you to really figure out what you're passionate about. And so that is really why I made the Boss Blueprint, is because a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of these coaches, business owners, these gurus out here isn't teaching the fundamentals of business. We always associate business with making money. It's deeper than that. Business literally starts with the core, and that is personal development. You cannot skip personal development and say you are a business owner. Okay. So Even if you burn yourself out, ask yourself why. What is it within me that's causing me to feel like I want to stop and quit? Okay. Most of the time, it's boundaries we're not setting within ourselves, within our children, within our household, our husband, wife, whatever it may be. Okay. We're not setting these boundaries in order for us to constantly show up for ourselves, constantly show up for our business. So, um, so you know exactly what needs to be done, but you don't have the bandwidth to do it. So yes, don't burn yourself out if you don't have to. Small baby steps, one at a time, one thing at a time. You know, if you don't know about branding, if you don't know how to properly brand yourself, start there and invest so much time within that realm of things and move on one thing at a time. Okay. Because me, I was trying to do branding, vendor events, classes, workshops, book writing. You know, it was just too much for me. And I'm like, you know what? One thing at a time. So I just was like, what will allow me to teach as much as I can teach, right? Without even having class and workshops right now, because I personally don't have a team. So I'm like, what can I do to really get me started so that when I am able to teach a class, what am I trying to say? So basically, I'm like, I'm doing these lives teaching classes, right? I'm live on Wednesdays. My students can go back and rewatch these lives. So that's why I did it on Wednesdays. I made the most of my time. Wednesday, one side of the week, I dedicate my time at 11 a.m. to do these weekly lives. And then I take the lives and I post it on my it's on my Instagram. And then I post it on my Boss Life Global YouTube channel. And then, you know, when people say, how do you do this? I don't have money to invest in Boss Life Global, which, you know, I do have a lot more perks when it comes to you investing in my business, because again, you get one-on-one coaching. I go in depth with how to write a book, how to use Canva, how to utilize Chat GPT, get the most out of Chat GPT. Okay. I talk about anime. I like go super in depth with these things because again, I'm just scratching the surface right now. I'm just scratching the surface because what I'm teaching you, it has a lot more moving pieces. Okay. So it is important for you to invest in a mentor or a coach that's going to help you successfully grow your business so that you don't run into mistakes that I've ran into over the past 4 or 5 years. But with that being said, when people say, I can't properly invest in your business right at this moment, I'm like, that's okay. I want you to build trust with me anyways. So I need you to just go back and watch out my weekly lives and take what I'm saying and try to utilize it in your business. Or maybe it is fuel for you to get started if you don't know what you want to do. I talk about branding. So that is why I felt like in order for me to find balance within my life, I needed to schedule up a specific day for me to give the information. And then the rest of my weeks, I'm more focused on just the background things of my business. Okay. A lot of my business is automated, so I don't really have to do too much, but most of my time is perfecting and filling in the gaps that needs to be filled in. Okay. Improving me as an individual, getting out of my comfort zone, going to network events, communicating with other business people, owners. So I now have the bandwidth. So find a schedule for yourself. Make a schedule, whatever that look like, okay? So that you can dedicate your time. So if you sell something on Thursdays, come on live and sell all day. Thursdays is myself selling in a barbershop, selling in the on Facebook Live, TikTok, making posts. Make one day dedicated to you doing all those different things. And I'm telling you, it is very, it will take so much stress off of you. And then after that, if you feel like you can do two days, put 2 days in there, but don't try to do 5 days out of the week because you see a content creator or you see somebody out here, you know, busting through the walls. Okay, with their business, they had to start exactly where you're starting at now, and it's in me also. Okay. So it says what to outsource first. Okay, your low hanging fruits. So one of the things that is important is that if you're not good with admin work, such as emails, calendar, customer service based, you need to outsource. And one of the websites that I use, if I want to outsource, is Fiverr. If you're not familiar with Fiverr, I believe you spell it Fiverr. Write that down, y'all. If y'all got y'all notebooks and notepads, I'm telling y'all. If y'all want thumbnails, if y'all want if you're like a YouTuber, if you want just a funnel done, if you want someone to do your email marketing, if you want someone to make your calendar easy and remind you, or virtual assistants, there is a lot of upcoming contractors or people under that's contractors that can do the work for you. Okay. And basically y'all set up an agreement. He or she tell you their price. Most of the time you can find someone that is just getting started and want to make money, but they're still skilled in their industry. But you have people from amateurs to people that is experts, okay, high level. But Fiverr, Fiverr, is a good website you want to go on to outsource, okay? So start with admin work, emails, calendars, customer service base, okay? Social media content creation. You can find someone on there to do your social media content creation scheduling. So, or you can make a schedule on your own. I'm about to get my calendar, okay? So you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right. So, excuse me. So this is my calendar, okay? And I think I showed you guys this calendar a lot of times. But as you can see, this is for the whole year. You see how I have a schedule for myself for the whole entire year? Like, this is real. Like, I keep a schedule for myself every single year, or every, well, I started this year, but I keep a schedule for myself every single month. And this month again is three, this schedule is about scaling your business, okay? The month of July is about the confidence code. So, like, each month, I have a schedule for myself, and I also talk about where I want to post. So, TikTok, IG, Facebook, post 3 times out of the week at least. Okay, so that's my goal. And then I have on this side, I have everything that each subject I'm going to talk about every single Wednesday. So I know every month what the discussion is going to be about, every week what the discussion is going to be about, okay? And then I just kind of plan around it. I get my talking points, and then I just plan. It's just that simple. In order for you to really be successful, sometimes you have to have a calendar for yourself, okay? You have to have a content creation calendar. So I do have a calendar really dedicated to content creation, like what I'm going to talk about, all my POVs, like, if you start at the beginning of the year, and that's what I do, everybody make a New Year's resolution. I'm making my quarterly calendars, okay, for the rest of the year. And so I have a list of POVs. I have a list of, my long form content. I have a list of my short one. Now, do I have it out there yet? Nah, I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't, because my life kind of have taken a turn, which is okay. Right. And give yourself grace, because everything's not going to go your way, but at least you have something to refer back to. So if you're being lost within your business, you can go back to your calendar that you set for the year and say, you know what? I need to get knocked back on track. Let me go back to this calendar. Okay. And it's going to literally save your entire life, because you're not really lost. You're just taking a break. Bookkeeping and invoicing is something you can outsource. Websites, updates, and tech tasks. Household help if you're a momager, and I am a momager. So cleaning, groceries, and childcare is something that I will probably love to outsource. Now, I do have childcare. Groceries, if you are that person that like to order your groceries online and get them delivered to your house, please do that. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not that. That's not me. I'm a little old school. Your girl love to have. I'm old school. I like to pick my fruits and vegetables out on my own. I don't go to one set grocery store because I love organic food and I'm very picky when it comes to my food. So sometimes I'll go to the fresh food market and get like my fruits and veggies, or like my farmers market and get my fruits and veggies, and then like buy meats I may go to the market. So like I can't outsource my groceries like that because I need to be hands on with that. So yes, it'll be, if you're not as picky as me, outsource the groceries. Cleaning, getting a maid. If you have the funds and the means that fits in your monthly budget for your household, cleaning. I'm telling you, because if you're a mom that have children, especially a single mother that have children, you are constantly cleaning after the little ones. And I know I do. So hiring a nanny, hiring a cleaning person, if that's going to get you to the next level when those things are off the table, oh, baby, listen, sky's the limit. Now, do I have a cleaning person that comes and clean my house? No, my house pretty much stay clean. I'm a very clean person. I clean as I go. I have OCD, so I don't like a dirty house. My kids know the expectations of my house. I have an 11-year-old, so she is out of that baby stage to where she has chores now. Okay. And then thankfully, I have a 5-year-old. Well, she's about to be 5. A 5-year-old that don't like dirt. She don't like clutter. She is as clean as her mother. Okay, so she do not like a cluttery house. So I'm thankful to have those things taken care of. But trust me, it can be very hard if you are a single mother with little children. Okay. So we're going to talk about how to start outsourcing on a budget. Okay. How to outsource on a budget. Use platforms like Fiverr. And I was just saying that. So it's Fiverr. I think I spelled that correct. But if I didn't, please correct me. Write this down, y'all. And I hope y'all taking down notes because these are game changers. Okay. These are game changers. Like if you feel like you don't know where to start, somebody will make you a whole damn business plan. Chat GPT will give you a business plan. Okay. Upwork, UPWORK, Upwork. Okay. Or task based help from college students or interns. Okay. So college students or interns is very important because you won't have to pay for someone to do the work for you. You can actually give them a task and they can get college credits for it. So if I'm a business coach, I may go look for an intern that is skilled in branding or something, or someone that's in business marketing. And because they need to get credits, I will pass on my content creation schedule or content creation tasks to them so that they can manage all my social media pages. Okay. Because they are skilled in ads, advertisement, and so forth. So if you're someone that is a chef, maybe go get a person from Cincinnati Cooks or someone that is in some type of culinary school to do prepping for you the night before or the morning of. So if you want to prep, if you want to take that task off of prepping yourself, get an intern. If you're someone that is maybe, let's see what other industry that is popular, hairstylist, go get a braider, go get someone to do your braiding for you before you do the sew-ins, or maybe someone to wash the client's hair while you're doing another client's hair. So you got to get creative. All right. So we're going to talk about hire part-time virtual assistants versus a full-time employee. I talked about this early on. Okay. And I'll be ahead of my schedule when I be talking. So hire a part-time virtual assistant. Now, Fiverr is your virtual assistant. You can get a virtual assistant there. You can get a full-time employee, but again, if you want to pay out of pocket, if you're not there in your business, I would not say to get an employee right away. Try to do things as much as possible to cut costs and do it on your own. Outsourcing don't mean that you got to have a whole bunch of employees. Outsources can mean to get rid of tasks that can be very heavy on you, that is consuming majority of your time. So if you have the means and you are in that position in your business to where you can get a full-time employee, by all means do it. But if you can go get a full-time intern, do that as well. Start small, delegate 1 or 2 tasks per week and build trust. Trust is important. We talked about that last week. So if you want to go back to my live last week, we were talking about building trust. Barter services. If you're just getting started, value exchange still wins. Bartering services. So when I was a doula, I used to barter my services. So in order for, like, I used to give away, what was I giving away? The belly bonding, because I used to do, like, after the women used to after they had their baby, I used to go and do the African traditional belly binding, right? That's where it allow you to put your uterus back in its place after childbirth. So I used to give that service away to another doula for their client in exchange of a backup doula. Okay. So it's times where I could not go and be on call all the time because at the time I had a young baby and it was very difficult for me to be on call. So I asked this doula, like, hey, if I do these free services for you, can you make sure that you are on call with me as well? So whatever your services may be, try to barter as much as possible. Get back to the old school ways of thinking. That's how Black Wall Street was developed. Black Wall Street was developed because we use bartering services. So what to look for when hiring help? Skills and reliabilities over perfection. Skills and reliability over perfections. Okay. Make sure you hire someone that has clear communication skills. Clear communication skills. All right. I'm not going to get into depth with that. You guys are adults and you guys understand how to I hope you understand how to properly communicate. Alignment with your mission and values. So make sure that when you're hiring somebody and you're bringing people onto the team, that they have the same values as your business. Now, let me use an example with this. Do not bring someone in that is on social media, constantly cursing, constantly, I feel like, I look stuffed on Instagram. I'm glad Facebook can't see it. I had to look like, oh, oopa. Anyways, your girl been eating good and your girl just been in her essence. So I've been putting on some weight. I've put on like 20 pounds in the last like 3 or 4 months. So, okay. Anyways, yeah, so if someone's on Instagram constantly cursing, if the woman has her butt out, if she's taking these IG photos and she claims to be an IG model, and you are someone that is in corporate America or your business is geared towards that, do not bring someone like that into your business, because who you associate yourself with is what people are going to recognize you in your business with. If you're someone that's constantly, if someone is constantly, if you're a chef and you hire someone that messed up people food or got a bad rep on the internet, with nasty food, don't bring them in your business, because they're going to associate that person's name with yours, even though you may have your recipe and the only thing that person is doing is following the recipes that you give them. It doesn't matter. Bad business is bad business regardless. So make sure that person align with your mission and your values. Okay. Check reference portfolios and past reviews. All right. So with that being said, we are kind of coming to the end of this live. I'm going to give you a boss tip for the day. Okay. Focus on your zone of genius. Focus on your zone of genius. Ask yourself, what can only I do? What can only I do? Don't try to do things all at once. Where do you excel at? What area of expertise do you excel at? And highlight that. That's your area of genius. When we start operating outside of that is when things start to fall apart. So you got to really know your path and your mission before you start your business. Okay. You have to be very intentional when you're moving into this space, because this space can quickly tear you apart really fast. So focus on your zone of genius. Everything else needs to be outsourced. Everything else needs to be outsourced. So if you're not good at email marketing, if you're not good at networking, well, you got to be good at networking, depending on your business. That kind of comes with business. If you feel like you don't want to put yourself out there, then you don't need to get into entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship, you have to be the face of your brand. Okay. If you're doing faceless content, that's different. All right. We'll get into that on another live, but you have to be the face of your business. So if you are not good at email marketing, pass it on, outsource, focus on your zone of genius. Where do you excel at? And work hard towards that. Ask, what's one task you wish you can hand off? Ask yourself, what is one task that you wish you could hand off? Have you ever tried to outsource before? Okay. Ask yourself, have you been able to outsource? Have you started to try to outsource? Have you got a coach? Okay. Having a coach is considered outsourcing, whether you want to believe it or not. You have to learn how to delegate your task. You have to be okay with letting control go. Because if you're going to be so in control of your business, you are not going to get to the level you would like to get to. So, hire a coach, hire a mentor, hire someone that's good at content creation, whatever it may be. So if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, you can go to my Stanster in my bio, click the link. It'll take you over there. You can have a 30-minute, I believe it's a 30 minutes. Don't quote me on that, but if you need 30 minutes, I will grant that, okay? 30-minute consult, and we'll kind of go over where you're at with your business, the things that you may be struggling with, the things that you may have an idea about, but you just really don't know how to get started. We'll do a consult, and then we'll come up with a business plan or come up with a plan, and then we will work hard to reach your goals. We will try to find ways to where you can be successful. All right. We are going to give you a strong foundation, such as a business model, to where you can follow that business model right off the gate. Okay. I wound up having a business model later on in the game and I missed out on a whole bunch of money. So if you're someone that want to get started, make sure you click the link in my bio. Make sure you order my book, The Boss Blueprint. I'm telling you that this book will change your life, because we were talking about how business literally started with personal development. It brought out things in me that I didn't realize I needed to work on. And then also, once I start to be clear with my vision and start to identify the things that was really holding me back, baby, listen, that's how Boss Life Global was developed. I literally did. Look, I'm gonna show y'all. Sierra, you say you may need that. Okay, come on, girl. You know I got you. Come on, come on, come on. This is something that I've been working towards for a very long time. I've been knowing about all this stuff decades ago, right? But I didn't know this was my passion. I didn't know that I needed to be a teacher when it comes to business. I've been a business owner since I was 8 years old. I come from a line of entrepreneurship. So if anybody that knows how to run businesses, it's me. I got 4 successful women out there that does it. I want you guys to Google Misha Got the Juice. Misha Got the Juice is very popular in the city. She was my first person that I worked with outside of her paying. She was just somebody that I worked with and helped develop. And she's a go-getter. So she took the knowledge and she took off. I mean, she took off and she ran far away from Boss Life Global, you know. Um, but you know, I need to start doing more testimonials, because I feel like testimony is definitely going to be beneficial for me. Um, Again, I am I'm trying to get out of that imposter syndrome thing, right? Again, I'm still developing myself as I go. What When I met you, I knew you needed to be a teacher. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I listen, I didn't know this at first, because you know, when I was doing Boss Life Global was originally for developing women, personally developing women, right? I always loved to pour into other women. I always wanted this community. I always say, Boss Life, don't let life boss you. And so Boss Life Global was not about entrepreneurship. Boss Life Global was literally about people being obedient, serving their self, and stop trying to give your power away to other people, but take back your power and inspire yourself to get to the next level. That is the only reason why Boss Life Global became what it is, or how it started. And then I started to get into the entrepreneurship realm of it, because I felt like a lot of people were struggling with entrepreneurship. I struggle with entrepreneurship. And so I was like, you know what? I need to pivot Boss Life Global, which I still love to help women, okay? But I wanted to pivot Boss Life Global and um, really help inspire entrepreneurs transition from the 9 to 5 grind and get into entrepreneurship. Okay. But again, the Boss Blueprint is dedicated to still empowering women and men now. All right. So before I get off of here, I wanted to show you guys, in order for I had to really do my own book in order for me to really get to where I'm at. That's why I'm saying it. Like, I literally started off before I even started selling this product. I did it myself. I don't want to show too much of my business. Listen, I hate when people try to sell you stuff and then they ain't really utilizing what they're selling too. Look at this. I did the work. I did the work first. And this was my first original book, y'all. Like, I did the work. Let me go to, let's see. Let me see where I'm at. All right, here we go. The plan. Like, the plan. Like, I had to make a plan. Like, in the book it says the plan. What's your plan? How you gonna execute it? We need to make a plan. All right. Like, I literally did my own book. This was my original, because look, the backing is 2 different backs. This is where I first started off, and then I started to polish it up from there. But if you want to support the book, make sure you go order it. I'm telling you, it's so vital that you really get this book, because I'm telling you, like, if you insecure about things, this book gonna bring it out. It's gonna help heal, baby. It's gonna help heal the wounds, okay? But anyway, so I'm going to get off this live. Thank you, Sierra, for supporting me. Thank you guys for coming back every single Wednesday. If you want to catch the replay, go to Boss Life Global on YouTube. I have some replays on there. I think I'm caught up with all my videos. Actually, I have last week's video on that live, or on that channel. So I'm proud of myself, because I was able to get that posted over there. This live will, thank you. The link is in my bio too. So it's $22 on Amazon. The hard copy costs more, because I love to say it's a textbook. Maybe it lasts longer. I like textbook styles anyways. But anyways, what I was about to say, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, Boss Life Global is caught up now. So this video will be on my YouTube by today. Okay. So if you want to just kind of go back and dissect it and slow down and listen to the information, because you know, I drop a lot of information in these videos and I do move fast. So that's why I have replays available. All right. Well, I love you guys. Sierra, make sure you're on a live next week. I think next week we're talking about, and then Sierra, we got to definitely talk, and we definitely got to catch up for sure, girl, because we ain't caught up, and it's been some months. I've been in hibernation mode, baby. But June, let's see, we're June 11th, so June 18th is my daughter's birthday. We're going to be talking about creating passive income streams in your business. This is my favorite topic because, baby, listen, I love to make money. And I'm going to tell you right now, my book is passive income. Like, my book is passive income. I make money in my sleep. Ching, ching. Okay. Yes, we do. We do. So, anyways, let me get off this live. I'll see you next Wednesdays at 11 a.m. I love to say boss life, don't let life boss you. And I will see you next week. Okay. Peace. Interrupt. You start picking out your clothes. You will be leaving out in about an hour. Okay. What's wrong, baby? You okay? Okay. How the fuck? It didn't end. Oh. That is so funny.